In 1998, a family in Taiwan went hiking into Keng Scenic Area in Taichung. It was supposed to be an ordinary family outing. Someone brought along a V8 camcorder and recorded the group walking along the mountain trail near the famous wind-moving stone. At the time, nothing seemed strange. The family walked together, surrounded by trees, mountain paths, and the quiet atmosphere of the Taiwanese countryside. The footage looked exactly like many old home videos from the 1990s, slightly blurry, dull in color, and shaky with each step of the person holding the camera. But later, when the family replayed the recording, they noticed something that should not have been there. At the very back of the hiking group, there was a small figure dressed in red.
She appeared to be following them. The strange thing was that no one in the family remembered seeing her that day. She was not part of their group. She did not speak to anyone. She did not wave at the camera. She simply walked behind them, silent and close enough to be seen clearly in the footage. What made it even more disturbing was her face. Because of the low-quality video, it was difficult to see her clearly. But many people who watched the footage said her face did not look like that of a normal little girl. Some said she looked unusually old. Others said her features seemed distorted. Some even believed her expression looked inhuman. The footage was later sent to a Taiwanese paranormal television program called Shen Chu Gui Mall. When it aired on TV, it caused a wave of fear across Taiwan.
This was the 1990s. The internet was not yet the center of everything. People still discovered strange stories through television, newspapers, and word of mouth. So when viewers saw the girl in red appear in what seemed to be a real family video, the impact was much stronger than a random creepy clip online today. Then the rumors began. Some people claimed that after the hiking trip, one of the people in the group passed away. This made the story even more unsettling, because people began connecting the red-clad girl with ideas from Taiwanese folk belief, being followed by something from the mountains, being chosen as a replacement, or encountering a supernatural mountain entity. Over time, many people began linking the little girl in red to the Taiwanese legend of the Mo Sin Ah.
Mo Sin Ah are not exactly ghosts. In Taiwanese folklore, they are more like mountain spirits or strange beings that live in forests, bamboo groves, valleys, and misty mountain areas. They are often described as small, childlike, monkey-like, or dressed in red. Some stories say they have red eyes or red hats. They do not always attack people directly. Instead, they confuse people. According to the legends, a person led away by Mo Sin Ah may suddenly become lost on a trail they should know well. They may disappear for hours or days. When found, they often seem confused, exhausted, or unable to explain what happened. Some even claim they were fed strange things, only for others to later suspect they had been eating mud, grass, or insects. Taiwan has many stories like this.
In one reported case from 2003, an elderly woman went to a mountain area in Shiji to sweep a grave. She walked ahead of her family for only a short time, but after they parked the car, they could no longer find her. Her relatives searched the mountains, even using traditional folk methods like beating gongs and calling her name, hoping to guide her back. Days later, she was found dead. In 2014, another elderly woman disappeared in Hualien. Surveillance footage reportedly showed her walking unusually quickly toward a rural mountain road. When she was later found, she claimed a little girl in red had led her there, and that elderly people had kept her company at night. In 2015, an elderly woman in Kaohsiung disappeared after going to the fields. She was eventually found weak, but without obvious injuries, near a cemetery in the mountains. She said someone had taken her somewhere to sleep and had even prepared food for her.
These stories do not prove that Mohsina exist, but they all share the same terrifying pattern. Someone leaves a familiar place, disappears suddenly, and returns unable to clearly explain what happened. That is why the little girl in red became so famous. Maybe she was just another hiker, distorted by old video quality. Maybe the television program made the footage seem more frightening than it really was. Or maybe, as some still believe, she was something from the mountains. Whatever the truth is, the image remains disturbing because it has never had a clear answer. So if she was only a passerby, why did no one remember seeing her that day? And if you ever walk into the mountains and hear someone calling from behind you, maybe do not turn around too quickly.
So my friend and I are on a road trip right now and stopped at a hotel for the night. We ended up arriving late that night, closer to midnight. When we got into our hotel room, we both thought it was pretty sketchy. Our room was ground level and had two doors, one leading to the hallway and the other leading outside to the parking lot. The door we came in through, the one that leads to the hallway, had the bathroom to the right side and an open closet to the left, from the perspective of you walking through the front door. Hope this makes sense. We noticed our front door, the one leading to the hallway, had a security latch that was broken. It was missing the catch plate/hook, but we still closed the swing bar for some peace of mind. There was still a key card required to get into the room, so we weren't too worried.
Once we were settled in, we got into the same bed and were up pretty late playing games on our phones together, around 2:30 a.m. with all the lights and TV off. We took some edibles, only 10 milligrams each, which we have done many times before, and we didn't feel high, just a little faded. While we were playing the game on our phones, my friend made a joke about how sketchy the hotel was before she looked towards the front door near the closet and bathroom. I also looked towards the door, and I saw a white figure in the doorway closet area. I told myself it was just a trick of the mind, but for some reason, I couldn't look away. It looked like a tall white figure, kind of like Slender Man, I know, cliché, standing in the middle of the doorway. I wasn't scared that it was a human because its head was long and it also had abnormally long arms. I'm nearsighted and didn't have my glasses on, so my vision was a little blurry. At this point, I was just convincing myself it was a trick of the mind and went back to playing the game.
My friend then asked me in a jokingly way if I also saw the person in the doorway. I started to freak out a little. My friend also started to freak out. She turned her phone flashlight on, and when she shone it at the doorway closet area, the figure was gone. And when she turned the flashlight off, the figure was there again. We turned the bedside lamp on, and my friend told me how she saw a white figure there too. She mentioned how it looked like it was wearing a long, oversized white hotel robe. Before explaining too much detail, we both drew what we saw just to see if it matched up. And it did, perfectly. In both our drawings, the figure was just a bit taller than the clothes hanger pole in the room, and was an opaque white, with long limbs and a long, shadowy face. My friend, who doesn't really believe in ghosts, mentioned how she couldn't see through the figure. It was as if someone was actually standing there. I told her that I couldn't either.
We discussed a little bit about what it could be. Lights from the hallway, our brains tricking us, etc. She then suggested I put her glasses on this time to see it more clearly, how she did, and turned the lights off again just to see if we'd see it again. We were both pretty scared at this point, but did it anyways. We turned the lights off and waited a bit for our eyes to adjust again. I saw nothing in the doorway/closet this time. I could see clearly into the closet. The pole, the hangers, the wall. There was nothing. But somehow that just made me more scared, because I really felt like something was there before and was just somewhere else in the room now.
We turned the lights back on, and my friend said to me that she saw nothing this time, that she could see clearly into the closet, and that the figure was completely gone. This freaked me out more, because I also saw nothing, and told her that, which caused her to start freaking out more too.
After a while of both of us freaking out and reassuring each other it was just our eyes playing tricks on us, we turned off the lights again and went back to playing our game, trying to forget about it and relax before we slept. However, from the corner of my eye, I kept seeing that figure peeking out from the left side of the doorway, where the bathroom is located, and tried my best to ignore it because I thought my brain was just trying to scare me. My friend then said, "I know it's just my eyes playing tricks on me, but I keep seeing something peeking its head up from the bathroom area." And she tried to laugh it off. I genuinely don't think I've ever felt more scared in my entire life. I told her I saw it too, and we both started to full-on freak out. Since we both took an edible, we just convinced ourselves it was that, and just a coincidence that we saw the same thing. Her and I are pretty logical people, so we went over every possibility again of what it could be. Lights from the hallway, the edibles, trick of the mind, etc. After building up some courage, I checked the whole room just in case, and there was nothing there. We then fell asleep around 3:30 a.m.
We woke up and left our hotel in the morning. While driving, my friend made a comment about how I left the room last night, and she didn't notice. I was confused because I didn't leave our room and didn't know why she'd think that. She said that the front door security latch hook was open in the morning and that she thought I opened it, but I know for a fact I didn't. She knows for a fact that she closed it last night and swore up and down that she didn't touch it. I was next to her when she closed it. I watched her do it. I know I didn't open it, so we have no idea how it opened, and I genuinely have no idea what we saw last night. Could that have been some kind of ghost, or was our minds just playing tricks on us? I keep thinking back on it, and it's really freaking me out.
The photograph arrived in a manila envelope, no return address, postmarked April 18th, 1912, the day after the Titanic sank. I laughed when I saw the date. Must be a forgery, I thought. Some Etsy artist aging paper with coffee grounds. But when I slid out the tintype, my laugh died in my throat. It was my great-grandmother Clara's wedding. I knew because I'd seen the other copy, the one my grandmother kept in her Bible until she died. Same lace collar, same crooked smile on Ezra Weaver's face, same white church with the broken steeple. But this copy had something the other didn't. Behind Clara and Ezra, a third figure stood. Tall, thin, dressed in black so deep it looked like a hole cut in the world. Its face had been scratched out, not gently, not accidentally, gouged, as if someone had taken a knife to the emulsion and meant to erase it from existence.
I turned the photograph over, written in ink that had faded to brown. "Do not clean the plate. Do not speak of the man behind them. And for God's sake, never look at his face." I should have burned it then. You know that. Every person reading this knows that. But I didn't. I did something stupider. I held the tintype up to the window light and saw that the scratches weren't random. They formed a pattern, a shape. Not a face. Something over the face. A cage or a muzzle. As if whoever had scratched out those features wasn't hiding the figure's identity. They were trying to keep it from seeing out. That evening, I made my first mistake. I took a soft cloth, microfiber, the kind photographers use for vintage lenses, and I gently wiped the surface of the tintype, just to see if the scratches were on the emulsion or in it. The dust came away easily, too easily, and beneath the dust, the scratches seemed shallower, as if cleaning the plate was healing them. I stopped immediately, but the damage was done.
That night, I kept the photograph in my desk drawer. I told myself it was research. I'm a collector, you see. Old things, forgotten things. I thought I understood them. I thought they had no power over the living. I fell asleep reading a book on Victorian mourning photography, locked hair in lockets, post-mortem portraits, the whole macabre catalog. When I woke, the room was not dark. It was dim. The kind of dim that comes from every light source being turned down low, not off. My bedside lamp glowed at half power. The hallway light bled through the crack under the door. But the air was wrong. It smelled like well water and wool, and something sweet gone bad, like flowers left too long in a vase. My bedroom door was open. I never sleep with it open. I got up, closed it, checked the drawer. The photograph was face down. I had left it face up. I turned it over. The scratches on the figure's face were fainter now. I could almost see something beneath them. A suggestion of a jaw, a corner of a mouth. I put the photograph in the freezer. I don't know why. It seemed like something that would stop decay. The next evening, I came home from work and heard breathing before I even opened the front door. Not mine. Not human. It was the sound of something large and patient, waiting in a room just beyond hearing. The way you can feel a storm before you see the clouds. I walked inside. Nothing was out of place. But the freezer door was open. A thin trail of water led from the kitchen to my bedroom. I followed it. On my pillow, the photograph lay wet and dark, the tin-type surface beaded with condensation. And the figure's face was almost clear. I saw the shape of a nose, two eyes closed as if in sleep, or death, or something pretending to be both. I did what any sensible fool would do. I hid it. Not in the freezer, not in the desk, in the basement, inside a steel lockbox behind a stack of old textbooks. I wrapped the photograph in black cloth first, my grandmother's shawl, the one she wore to funerals. I even said a prayer over it. I'm not religious, but she was. Then I went to bed. I did not sleep. I lay in the dark, listening. The house made its usual sounds, pipes settling, wind against the windows. But beneath those sounds, another sound. Not footsteps, a shifting, a displacement of air, as if something large was moving through the rooms downstairs, not walking, but flowing, passing through doorways without opening them. I heard the basement door creak, not open, just acknowledge. Then silence, long silence. I almost convinced myself it was over. My bedroom door swung open so slowly that I didn't hear the hinges. It just moved, inch by inch, until it stood wide. The hallway beyond was black. Not dark, black, as if light itself had been swallowed. And in that blackness, two things happened at once. The smell of well water and wool and rot filled the room so thickly that I gagged, and I felt a hand press against my back. I was facing away from the door. The hand was cold, not cold like ice, cold like something that had never been warm. It pressed flat between my shoulder blades, and a voice, not heard but felt, vibrating in my teeth, said one word. Turn. I didn't turn. I closed my eyes. I whispered my grandmother's prayer, the one she taught me when I was 5, the one she said would keep bad things from following you home. The hand pressed harder. My ribs ached. Turn, it said again.
louder this time, though loud wasn't the right word. Deeper, as if the voice was coming from the floor and the ceiling and the walls all at once. I kept my eyes shut. I kept praying. I prayed until my throat was raw and my lips were bleeding from where I'd bitten them. Then the pressure stopped. The smell faded. The blackness in the hallway pulled back like a curtain. I opened my eyes. My bedroom door was closed. The lamp was bright again. For one terrible, hopeful moment, I thought the prayer had worked. Then I looked at my desk. The photograph was there. I had left it in the basement lockbox. But there it sat, face up, dry, clean. And the figure's face was completely clear. It had my face.
Not a resemblance, not a trick of the light. Every line, every scar, every small imperfection. The same tired eyes, the same slight asymmetry in the smile. It had my face, and it was smiling in a way I had never smiled. Not happy, not cruel, knowing. As if it had been waiting for me to recognize myself in it. That was when I understood. The scratches weren't hiding its identity. They were hiding mine. The warning on the back, "Do not look at his face," wasn't to protect me from seeing the figure. It was to protect the figure from seeing me. Because once the plate was clean, once its eyes opened, it could see the person holding the photograph. And it could replace that person. I can hear breathing behind me. Not mine. Not human. It is standing where I stood in that photograph. And it has begun to move. Not toward me. Into me. I can feel my memories thinning. I can feel my name becoming less true. Do not clean old plates. Do not look at the man behind them. And if you ever find a wedding tintype from 1912, burn it before you see your own face staring back. Because I never had a great-grandmother named Clara. That was its name all along. And now it has mine.